Hey guys, I'm a Dimension Jumper, and today I'll be reviewing Banjo and Kazooie, the Smash Bros. Character from Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, Banjo and Kazooie are the third DLC characters for Smash Bros. Ultimate, and I would say that this is again another interesting choice, and I think a good inclusion to put in because Banjo and Kazooie are well-known characters. I think one of the most well-known games is probably Banjo and Kazooie for the Nintendo 64, and they're a nice inclusion, and because they've got a variety of when it comes to their moveset, I think it's very interesting. I'll be showing you in the gameplay section of this video, but they really do have some interesting moves. Like you've got like a supercharged tackle thing. You've got like a basic up B that's basically there to help you get off the stage or help you recover, that sort of thing, and a variety of other moves which I'll show you in the gameplay section. And the way that Banjo and Kazooie were revealed was similar to how King K. Rool was announced, in that with King K. Rool, I think he had a crown or something that went across the stage or the screen when Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong were just relaxing. And with Banjo Kazooie, it's similar in that you've got their unique puzzle piece that goes across the screen, and similarly, like with King K. Rool, you see the silhouette of Banjo Kazooie, and it's revealed to be a different character, just pretending to be that particular character. So for King K. Rool, I believe it was King Dedede, and for Banjo Kazooie, it was Dark Hunt Duo. But it turns out, oh, here they are. They just push the other characters to the side. They're in the game, and yeah, I think that for that particular announcement, it was interesting because they were just reusing an old joke, and it's like, oh, okay, I think it's a good joke. Like, oh, then we see a silhouette. Oh, they're not in the game. Oh, they're actually in the game. So yeah, that's something quite interesting. And for their stage, Spiral Mountain, which I'll get to in a bit. Well, which I'll get to in when it comes to the gameplay section again. But I want to talk about it quickly in this part. What I do like about the stage is how it's used. So it's like sort of, because it's called Spiral Mountain, it turns on its axis several parts, or every so often whilst you're playing the stage, and I think that's quite an interesting way to play the stage in particular, because you have to constantly move and think of where you're going to be falling and which part of the stage you might fall on. So that's quite cool. And now I'm going to get into the main section of the gameplay. So, with Banjo's moveset, he's got like a variety of interesting moves. So like, for a side B, he can, or they can, do the sort of like invincible tackle sort of thing, and I think you can't really interrupt it. If you do your neutral B. Oh, smash ball. Okay, it's like you can like fire like these pellet things, which I think is quite cool. For his final smash, they summon these various different burst statue thingies, and that basically just helps. Well, basically does a whole amount of damage. For the up B, they just it's a pretty standard up B. Just they use a pad for the thing, and for the down B, they use like this grenade, this sort of like egg grenade thingy, and also for the side B, you can't really use you basically have a limited amount of tackles, or feather tackles, that you have. So if you get KO'd, or if you fly off the stage, for example like this, you can see all the feathers have returned, and now I can use them again. But you can only get them back one if you fell off the stage. So it's not like someone like Hero, let's say, whose MP will recharge over time. Like with Banjo Kazooie, once they're gone, and you can't get them back until you either lose a stock or you just fly off the stage. And also for Spiral Mountain, as you've been seeing, it's a stage that changes or basically turns. So I think that's quite cool. And yeah, it's one of those stages where you have to really think on your feet because but mainly because you have to think of how do you adapt to it because they're like specific ledges and you can't really use a lot of them. Well, you can use all of them, but it's only when the stage changes. So that's a really interesting way to play a stage. You have to really think on your feet and think, okay, how do I adapt to the stage while it's on the move in several changes in time. So yeah, so that's been it for the gameplay. Now I'm going to go back to the review. So overall, I would say for Banjo and Kazooie, I think with their moveset, it really suits them quite well because it's one of those things where they're two characters, but they share the same, not moveset, but the same control scheme sort of thing, in the sense that you fight as both characters. It's kind of like Ice Climbers, Pyra and Mythra in a sort of sense, in the sense that you're playing as these two characters, but they're in one character, and their moveset really complement them. And their moveset, Banjo and Kazooie's are more, in terms of moveset, it's more like Ice Climbers, other than someone like Pyra and Mythra. Whereas Pyra and Mythra, they both have their own unique moves, whereas with Ice Climbers, they use the same, because they're one character, they're the same move, the same moves, and you control one of them. So it's kind of similar to that with Banjo Kazooie. You mainly play as Banjo, but you can also use Kazooie for the various moves and stuff. So like the supercharged tackle, the pellets that you can use, the grenades, that sort of thing. And yeah, I think it's a nice inclusion. I think it as the whole DLC continues, it's getting a lot more interesting and a lot more in the sense of oh, okay, we've got two characters that were a strong choice. It's going strong. We've got Joker from Persona 5. We've got Hero from the Dragon Quest series, and now we've got Banjo Kazooie. So that's a really interesting choice, and it's surprising that they weren't in the games or weren't in earlier games, like let's say Brawl or the Wii U versions of Smash Bros. Like it's one of those characters like, oh, they're a nice addition to this game. It's surprising they weren't in previous games. So yeah, that's something quite cool. And overall, I would say Banjo Kazooie is a nice continuation of the whole surprising elements of who can we get in next. And it's still a strong character to be put into Smash Bros. So yeah. So that's been my review for Banjo and Kazooie for Smash Bros. Ultimate. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And see you in the next video.